a devotee and studying Prabhupada's books for many years is it really doesn't matter if you're a female body or male body. We're in Kali Yuga, it's a disadvantage. So, you don't know, because sometimes devotees argue about these things. Oh, men are more intelligent, women are more intelligent. If you read Prabhupada's books, he says both. He says in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says, the male form of life is meant for self-realization. Prabhupada says that. The male form is meant for self-realization, right? And it is said, sometimes it's said the men, well, it says the women are less intelligent. Those statements are there. Prabhupada says, first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, women are less intelligent. He says that, right? So it's both things are there, right? I don't think it makes too much difference, all these statements, because I think everyone's at a disadvantage. I've seen female devotees who are doing very well, and I've seen male devotees who are doing very well. I've seen female devotees who are struggling and male devotees. So I don't think it makes a big difference. It's Kali Yuga. Let's all just go back to Godhead. You don't have to worry about all these things. Right? We don't need to argue with each other. Who is more intelligent, the men or the women? It doesn't really matter. However, Prabhupada does say that the male form is especially for self-realization. The brain has two sides. One is emotional, one side is emotional, the other side is rational. Right? So one side is for creativity, it is for artistic pursuits, it is for emotions. The other side is rational, right? It's for intellectual pursuits. So men, when it says that men are more intelligent, you could say a man is more intelligent when he's on the intellectual side of the brain. But when he's on the other side of the brain, where he's just governed by his emotions, he's not necessarily more intelligent. So we could take it like that is how a man is more intelligent. Women, their brains work both sides simultaneously. They're doing the rationality and they're doing the emotional. That's why it says, when it says in the statement, sometimes Prabhupada says women are less intelligent. And sometimes, we're trying to bring someone to the Hare Krishna movement, a woman, and then she reads that, and then she needs an explanation. Because that's not a very good sales pitch. Right? Please join us. You're less intelligent, but please join us. Come and be a part of our wonderful, loving movement. You're less intelligent, but please. So when someone reads that, and they say to me, what does that mean? I explain it like that. I explain that, there are two sides of the brains. And women operate on both simultaneously. And women in general, I would say, are more emotional than men. Is that a fair statement? Or tell me, because if I'm saying the wrong thing, is it fair or not? Yeah, most of you are saying it's fair. Women are generally more emotional, generally. I mean, men can be completely irrational. So, it's not, once again, in Kali Yuga, these things are somewhat balanced out. But generally, women are more emotional than men. So, when it says a woman is less intelligent, the way I explain it is, it just that means that sometimes she can get more emotional about things. And her emotions can govern her decisions, right? And then she may do something very irrational sometimes, Has any of your wives ever done anything completely irrational sometimes to you? That you can't understand? No? Never happened? That's good. You are blessed. Krishna is blessing you. But my experience with women is sometimes completely irrational. Sometimes they're just upset with you for no reason. And even in Krishna's pastimes, if we want to lend some authority to this, it actually states in the writings of the Goswamis, sometimes Krishna is having prasadam with Radharani, and she stops talking to him, and she goes into man. Man means jealous anger, without a cause, without a reason. Right? And Krishna's sitting there and he's thinking, what happened? We were having prasadam, now she's not talking to me and she's upset with me and I didn't do anything. All I did was eat one pakora and now she's upset. Right? So this is, it happens there in the female energy, starting from the divine female energy and then passing down. Does that sound reasonable? Okay, that's good. I don't want to create a controversy or get into trouble. That's why I'm trying to say it's balanced, but I'm checking. It does sound reasonable. So that's the way I explain it to people. Women are not less intelligent. I just say they're more emotional. Most of them. But men are completely irrational sometimes. So we can't what I try to teach devotees is don't get too caught up in these things. These things are not so important. They're not the main thing that we should focus on in Krishna consciousness, the male-female issues, right? Let's just try to understand that we're Krishna's servants and try to go back to Him. That's what we should focus on more. Because in Kali Yuga, everyone is disadvantaged. So Prabhupada says in Bhagavatam, he says, the male form is especially meant for self-realization. But then, Prabhupada also says, the kids are going to have to calm down a little bit, they're just getting a little bit too. But the female form, Prabhupada says in Krishna book, Prabhupada says that females are naturally more devotional. Naturally. Prabhupada explains that. Women just have a natural type of bhakti. Right? It just flows very natural. Sometimes men over-intellectualize things. You know, sometimes the men stand in front of the deities, right? And, you know, we're chanting, Govindam, Adipurusham, Tamaham Bhajami, Govind. And sometimes the men, they're thinking, is this really God? Is this statue really God? Does God actually go into a form? Is this just in my mind? Am I chanting the holy name? Am I actually experiencing something? Is this real? Or is it just my mind? Any of the men ever thought like that? Yeah, one or two said they did. So sometimes it happens. Men over-intellectualize things, whereas women, they're just natural bhakti. It just flows. So Prabhupada says in Krishna book, right, the females, it is more natural. Bhakti is more spontaneous. So that's an advantage. So in Prabhupada's books, he says both things. Sometimes he says the male form is meant for self-realization. Sometimes he says the female form naturally has more bhakti, which is a great advantage. If you go to places like Jaipur and you go to Radha Govinda temple, one of the most famous temples, you know, when we have darshan, if you go to Radha Govinda ji and you take darshan, who's at the front of the temple in front of the deities? No one's been? Huh? Yeah, of course the pujari is at the front. I'm saying after the pujari. Right? Who's there? Matajis. The men can't get near the altar. Because the women's bhakti is so strong, they just flow. Right? And sometimes the men, you know, they try to get through and then women just, like this, you know. And they're just fixed like that. Even it says in the first canto that when the Yudhishthira and his tribe, when they went to the Jamuna to perform some ritual, all the women went first. It's mentioned in the Bhagavatam. So we should understand, sometimes in ISKCON in the past, we've had this mood that, the men have to go at the front and the women at the back, like that. But actually, if you read the Bhagavatam, it's the opposite. And if you go to Radha Govinda temple in Jaipur, it's the opposite. All right? And you'll see in many places it's like that. So the point is, in Kali Yuga, I don't worry about these things so much. You know, I don't think it's an advantage, one way or the other, to be in the male form or the female form. Right? Because you see some Matajis, they're making so much advancement. They have so much bhakti for Krishna. That's what we look for. Who has the bhakti? We want their association. And sometimes you see the men. The men have so much bhakti. So we want to associate with whoever has bhakti, right? Male or female forms. Like, you know, in my life, I have very close relationships with some of my god sisters, right? Some of my god sisters, very close relationships, you know, because they have so much devotion for my guru, right? So, you know, we have such close relationship, like brother and sister. It is like that, right? So I appreciate their bhakti. So, as the Bhagavatam is teaching us, we should not get too much caught up in the material things. That is not overly important. So this is ideal grihastha life. And when you do the vivaha yajna, it means you're carrying a great burden. But you have to carry it very carefully. That is marriage. Marriage means for the men and for the women. Grihastha life, it's a great responsibility that you have to carry very carefully. Jayapataka Swami always says this. Right? He always says that Grihastha life is a great responsibility. Technically, it's the most important ashram. Technically, it's the most important ashram. There's one story that 3 rishis, 3 sages, they were arguing. Which is more important? And they were having arguments. So they were saying, which yuga is the most important? One was saying, Satya Yuga is the best. One was saying, Treta Yuga is the best. The other one was saying, Dwapara Yuga is the best. So they went to Vyasadeva, Mahamuni, Vyas. They went up to Badarik Ashram. He still lives there. Vyasadeva still lives there. Madhvacharya, many centuries ago, went there to learn Bhagavatam from him. He's still there. I mean, we can't see him because we don't have the eyes to see Vyas, but those who have the eyes, they can see Vyasadeva. So he's still there. So the 3 rishis, they went to Vyasadeva, and he was taking bath in the Ganga. So while he was taking bath, he was dunking down under the water, and then he came up. So when he came up, right, they said to him, which is the best yuga, Satya, Treta, or Dwapara? And what did Vyas say? He went down underwater, he came up, he said, Kali. Kali is best. Why is Kali Yuga best? Because you could go back home, go back to Godhead in 25 years, or 50 years, or 3 years, or two days. Or Bhagavatam says 1 moment. Right? 1 moment in our life is the most important. Which moment is that? The day we get married. No, it's not that one. That's second most important. No, that's third actually. Actually, it's fourth. But the most important is the time of death. That 1 moment, that's going to be the most important. Satchidananda Swami actually said, I heard him say a couple of years ago, he said, if at that moment you can just say to Krishna, Krishna, I am yours. That's enough. You will go to Goloka. Right? If you say, Krishna, I am yours, that's enough. Like Prana Prabhu. You know, he just passed away. He said, I want to be with Krishna. I want to be with Krishna. Right? That's the moment, just at that moment. If that's your consciousness, then you go to Krishna. So that's why Kali Yuga is best. Because in Satya Yuga it takes 60,000 years to become self-realized. That's a long time. You know, it's better, 60 years is better. No, Kali Yuga is the best. Kali Yuga ki? Is anyone listening? Or? Okay. As you like, as you like. So, why is Kali Yuga best? Because of Nityananda Trayodashi. Was anyone here for Nityananda Trayodashi? What day was that? Last Thursday. I was at the farm. We had very nice festival at the farm. There was only 10 of us, but it was a very nice festival. But then here you had, Maha Festival. This is one of the best temples in the world. Best places to be on any festival. If you can get in, then it's the best. So in this, on Nityananda Trayodashi, we were studying about Nityananda Prabhu. I was listening to lectures by Indudumna Swami and Amarendra Prabhu, and I was listening while I was doing my puja and everything in the morning. And the point came out that no one is more merciful than Nityananda Prabhu. No other incarnation of God is more merciful. So this temple is called Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir. We have Gaur Nitai here. Gaur Nitai here are made of solid metal, right? 8 different kinds of metal, right? Solid metal. In the whole world, they are the biggest solid metal deities on the planet except for Panchatattva in Mayapur. Right? They made them in Navadvip and then they were shipped here. They weigh half a ton each. Half a ton. One deity, half a ton. 6 men to carry one deity to pick them up and place them. And then Srila Prabhupada himself in 1975, right there, Prabhupada installed them, right? Just like sometimes we go to the holy dhams, we go to Mayapur and Vrindavan and Puri, and you go to these ancient temples where the deities were installed or worshipped by particular acharyas. You go to Jaipur to see Radha Govinda, who was worshipped by Srila Rupa Goswami Pad in Jaipur. You can see, you can go. So we travel so far. So here, this is a place of pilgrimage. My good friend Atul Krishna Prabhu just came here last month, and I wrote to him, I said, good to see you, thank you for coming. He wrote back to me and said, it was a pilgrimage. It was a pilgrimage to come again and see these deities. We take for granted because we're here every day. Oh, there's Gaur-Nitai, there's Radha Vallabha. No, these deities are the most beautiful deities in the universe. Show me any Radharani in the universe more beautiful than this. Now you show me. Anyone. Huh? We are biased. We are bridge buses. Yeah. We are bridge buses. No one is more beautiful in the whole universe than this Srimati Radharani. She comes, the demigods come from all over the universe just to see this Radharani. You don't know who comes in here at 9 o'clock at night. You just see people standing here. You don't know who they are. They come to see her. All over the universe they come to see. You don't know. So, we're the most... And Jagannath Balaram Subhadra, I've never seen a more beautiful Jagannath Balaram Subhadra anywhere. I've never seen. These are the most beautiful deities in the universe. So, why are we fortunate in Kali Yuga? Because Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have come to save us. Parama Karuna. Prabhupada cried when he sang that song on several occasions. Parama Karuna. No one is... The Kali Yuga is the best. Because the most merciful personalities, the most merciful forms of God, they appear to deliver us. So Kali Yuga is the best. So they asked Vyasadeva, what is best? Which yuga? He said, Kali Yuga ki? Okay, that's better. Now you have to get into Kali Yuga. You have to get into it. Kali Yuga is the best. So then they asked him, which is the best? And then they said, which of the Varnas is the best? One was saying Brahmana, one said Kshatriya, one said Vaishya. They were arguing. They said to Mahamuni Vyas, which is best? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. What did he say? He went underwater, he came up, he said, Mataji is best. Mataji is best. Why? Because as we said, Prabhupada says in Krishna book, the women just have natural bhakti. Men over-intellectualize things, right? The women just have natural... there's Krishna, I love him. That's it, bas. That is Krishna consciousness. So, he said, so to be a woman in Kali Yuga, that's the most fortunate situation. Taking shelter of Gaur-Nitai, that's the most fortunate. Or to be a man who has simplicity of heart and simply loves Krishna because he is beautiful, that is the most fortunate position in Kali Yuga. So then he said, which ashram is the best? So the sages were arguing. Which ashram is best? Sannyas, Vanaprast, or Brahmachari? So he went down, came up, what did he say? Grihastha is best. Right? Jayapataka Swami always says this, very responsible ashram. Why? Because you have to look after all the other ashrams. The brahmacharis, they only sustain from the grihasthas. All right? The sannyasis, because everyone needs to eat, and the grihasthas make the prasad, and then they feed the renunciants. That's the system. So without the grihasthas, everything falls apart. So in Kali Yuga, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says grihastha ashram is very good. It's very good. It's mutually reciprocal, right? We look after the sannyasis and the brahmacharis because we want their blessings, because they will come and they will give us spiritual knowledge, spiritual understanding. That's the responsibility of the renounced ashram. You have to keep everyone else on track. So it says here in the purport, Prabhupada says in the verse, in this particular verse says, the grihastas, they have to feed the brahmanas. Those who are giving us knowledge, whether you're a grihasta brahmana or brahmachari brahmana or sannyasis, they're naturally brahmanas. We have to look after them and feed them because they will guide us. So that's grihasta responsibility. Look after them. And actually it says here, Prabhupada explains in the purport, Krishna is more pleased when you feed the brahmanas, when you offer prasad to the brahmana, even more than himself. Krishna says, Go brahmana hitaya cha. If you want to please God, you have to serve his devotees. Krishna says to Arjuna in Adi Purana, one who says he is my devotee, he is not my devotee. One who says he is the devotee of my devotee, he is my devotee. Krishna says to Arjuna. Krishna says, Go brahmana hitaya cha. The brahmana, we should serve him. That will give Krishna greater pleasure. He's more dear than so we serve the devotees if we serve the brahmanas. And then Prabhupada says, even more important is serving the cows. Go brahmana hitaya cha. Right? Nothing gives Krishna more pleasure than serving his cows. You have to serve his cows. We're fortunate because we live with Krishna's cows. Down at Hare Krishna Valley, we live with them. It's so important to serve them, to serve Krishna's cows. Actually, there's one intimate pastime with Radha and Krishna where Srimati Radharani, she finds out that Krishna is going to Mathura. Right? It's a heartbreaking pastime, lila. She hears, he's going now to Mathura. So she's at Vashana and she sits on her throne because she's a princess. So she sits on the throne and she just cries. She can't speak, she just cries. She's so hurt that Krishna is leaving. So Krishna, because they are connected, they are one soul, two bodies, but they're one soul. Prananath, Krishna is everything for Radha. Radha is everything for Krishna. So Krishna knows how upset she is. So he appears there. He doesn't even walk there. He just manifests right there because she's so upset, so emotional, he just appears. Just suddenly he's there. And she looks at him, she's crying, and she says, why? Why are you going? Why are you leaving now? And then Krishna says to her, to console her, Krishna says, I will come every day to see you. Every day I will come. Even though it says in Bhagavatam he went to Mathura, he did not come back, actually he came every day. He appeared every day for Radharani because her love was so strong. Every day he manifested. Right? But when he came, every day, he made a vow to her. He said, I swear to you, I promise you I will come every day. He said, I swear on my cows. I promise you. Right? In front of my cows, I promise you. That shows how much the cows mean to Krishna. So if you want to please Krishna, you have to serve the Brahmanas, the Vaishnavas, and the cows. Right? That is how we become Krishna conscious. And actually I was studying on Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, Lord Chaitanya's mission, in Chaitanya Bhagavat, he says, Lord Chaitanya's mission can be encapsulated in 3 points. What are the 3 points? If you take all of Lord Chaitanya's mission and you condense it into 3 points, what are the 3 points? Only 3 things. Namaruchi. Namaruchi means Lord Chaitanya's mission is that you have to develop a taste for chanting the holy name of Krishna. That's Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. Right? You're not a follower of Lord Chaitanya if you do not develop a taste for chanting the holy name. You have to develop a taste. Then you're a true follower of Lord Chaitanya. Actually, Lord Chaitanya says, if you want to capture my heart, you have to become a lakpati. You have to chant 64 rounds a day. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that. If you want to capture my heart, you have to chant 64 rounds every day. Which Prabhupada mercifully, he was speaking to Mukunda Maharaj. He said, I want you to chant 64 rounds. And Mukunda Maharaj just looked at Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, okay, 32. And he was still, and then he said, okay, 16 minimum. So Prabhupada gave us the 64, he brought it into 16. So Nam Ruchi. Second is Vaishnav Seva. Lord Chaitanya's whole mission is Vaishnav Seva. Vaishnav Seva you can expand. Brahmana Seva, Go Seva. Vaishnav Seva. Like that. Serve the cows, the Brahmanas, the Vaishnavas. That is Lord Chaitanya's mission. If you don't serve devotees, you're not a follower of Lord Chaitanya. Sometimes devotees said to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I can serve you, but I can't serve this devotee. Prabhupada said, love me, love my dog. You have to serve the devotees. And then third thing is Jivadaya. Jivadaya means you have to give mercy or compassion to the conditioned souls, the jivas. We have to spread the Hare Krishna movement. Prabhupada said it is the family business. You're in ISKCON now, you have to go in the family business. What is the family business? Preaching Krishna consciousness. You have to give Krishna Jivadaya. So these three things, that all of Lord Chaitanya's mission is just in those three items. Nama Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva, Jivadaya, Kali Yuga Ki. Thank you very much. Please come again. Any questions or comments? From the esteemed audience. Does anyone in Kali Yuga have a question? Mataji. Transcendental microphone key. Jai Ho. Over here, over here.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, you mentioned how the Matajis are more emotional and the men are more intelligent, but it hardly matters because we see in this Kali Yuga, whether we're intelligent or emotional, whether we're a devotee, we will always have the four defects. So we will have the propensities for cheating, we have illusion. So in those things, how can we serve devotees nicely with having those four defects?
How can you serve the devotees nicely if they have four defects? Is that the question?
We have four defects.
If we have four defects.
Like cheating propensities and...
Do you cheat?
Being in illusion.
Huh?
Being in illusion.
Yeah, everyone's got that. So what's the question? I don't understand the question.
How can we serve devotees nicely with these four defects within us?
Just go and give them some prasadam. We've all got four. The question doesn't make sense. We've all got four defects. It doesn't stop you from serving devotees. Like, hands up if you have four defects. Right? All of us have got it. So that's everyone. Everyone's got four defects. But that doesn't stop you from serving devotees. You serve devotees. You can serve devotees right now. When everyone leaves, go and pick up all the mats and put them. That's serving devotees. You can't say, oh, I make mistakes, maybe I'll put the mats in the wrong place or something. Just go and do it. What's your problem? Just serve the devotees. Okay? Okay. Any other question?
Is there any difference among devotees, men and women? It's depending on the individual, right? It's some people, I think if they are proportional, if they are more surrendered, whether man or a woman, if they are more surrendered, they are more intelligent. If they are less surrendered, it's proportional to how much they are surrendered. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the whole class I just gave.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I just spoke about that for half an hour. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. Any other questions? Yeah. Up here. Put it there. No, put it near your mouth. Why is it not working? Okay, just speak. It's okay.
I've noticed that ladies who are from Indian background, they're very attached to the deities. They like attending Aarti and just seeing the deities. They may not have much knowledge as we do in ISKCON. And we learn in ISKCON that through knowledge we develop attachment to the deities. So I always wondered, how do they have so much attachment? Like, I have friends who they come here and they just can't take their eyes off the deities throughout the afternoon, but they don't follow any regulation and saying study anything. So
Yeah.
I always wondered that how come I don't feel that way, even though I'm having some knowledge.
Yeah, it's a good question. So the question is, why is it that some people, Indian people, they come to the temple, they have so much bhakti, or so much apparent devotion to the deities. They're so attached during the arti, they're transfixed on the deity. But then Mataji is saying she's in ISKCON and she has more knowledge than them, she follows more principles than them, but she doesn't feel like she has as much attachment to them. So the reason they have so much attachment is because when you're born in Bharatvash, when you're born in what we call India, it's a superior birth. It means you've made spiritual progress previously to be born there. It's a superior birth. So that's why they naturally are inclined towards the deities and so forth, because they come and they have so much bhakti. It's already there. Prabhupada said the people from India, they are very close to Krishna, but they are looking away. All you have to do is just turn around and there's Krishna. It's easy. Whereas the Western people are further away. It takes time to close the gap because they have so many doubts and so many things. So then the second point is, why is it that I don't have? I follow all the things, I chant the rounds and I follow the regulative principles and I practice. Why don't I have the devotion when I'm in the darshan of the deities that they have? So that is your problem. Do something about it. You should have that. You're born in India, so you're already inclined like that. And it means, actually, it was nice when I was studying for Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day, one thing that became very apparent is the reason that we are not advancing in Krishna consciousness properly. The second verse of Shikshastaka, Durdaivam Idrisham, unfortunate. I am so unfortunate, I do not have taste for your holy name. That second verse of Shikshastaka, Lord Chaitanya says. Durdaivam means aparad, offenses, right? If we don't have a taste for chanting and for bhakti, it means we're committing offenses. So that you should have that taste, A, because you're born in a superior birth, B, now you're initiated in ISKCON, you're a devotee in ISKCON, you should have it. So if you're feeling that I don't have it, you need to work on that. So Jagatarini Mataji said to us a few years ago, she said, when you come before the deities, spend a long time with them. Right? So just come and sit with them. I think after class sometimes you chant your japa with them, right? Yeah, so do that. But really meditate and pray to them. Pray to Krishna. Gurujan Prabhu was saying this to us in the retreat that I did with him a few months ago. He said, whatever's going on, take it to Krishna. Because he's our best friend, Suridam Sarvabhutana. So go to him and just give it to him. Pray when you chant your japa today in front. Say, I don't have that attraction to you. Can you help me with that? Please help me. And if you just meditate with him and have the reciprocation, it will come. You can have it by tomorrow. Completely revived. Otherwise we give your money back. Otherwise we have to take some tax. Some gulab jamans or something. So, TK? Is it okay? Okay. Any other question? Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gauranga. Hari Hari. Krishna. So?
joy? A lot of things happen in office.
What's the joy?
Almost everyone. I have a good performance requirement, so nobody touch me. The director, the organization. But it happened in a different ways. I was also very able to come out of it. So he has orchestrated a beautiful part. I didn't lose anything. But cutting a long story short, I have managed to get 3 weeks, 3 months of paid leave from that company. That's good. They tried to do something and I also worked in my advantage, whatever they did. So I went on leave. But I had to just hand over to someone. But after that, I'm planning to come out.
So it's like where the report's not went to round table.
That example again.
Yeah, they went to round table. Supposed to be doing something without hearing the jazz.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So we're following the footsteps of the Siddha Raja.
Yeah, that. I think the Prabhu had told me at that time 54, 55 days. So I'm here late.
Time is time.
Time is coming. If not now, I'll never do it. So Krishna has said that very beautifully after I came back to India. It's amazing how he works. I worked from India for 2 weeks. I had a cataract surgery in my eye. But because one of my colleagues' daughter, she attempted suicide in Coimbatore. So he went on urgent leave and the customer had nobody. So despite I still worked. Instead of rewarding me, the company tried to punish me, saying that why did you work without permission?